The Galactic Council's discovery. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, where countless civilizations had risen and fallen, the Galactic Council stood as a beacon of unity and progress. For millennia, they had overseen the development of countless species, guiding them towards a harmonious existence among the stars. The Council Chamber, a marvel of engineering that floated in the neutral space between star systems, hummed with the quiet conversations of its diverse members. High Counselor Zixnera, a being of pure energy contained within a crystalline form, called the session to order. The chamber fell silent as representatives from 1,000 worlds turned their attention to the central podium. Esteemed colleagues, Zixnera's melodious voice resonated through the chamber. We have made a most unusual discovery in the outer reaches of the Orion Arm. Our long-range sensors have detected a world that defies all our understanding of habitability. A holographic image of a blue and green planet materialized above the podium, slowly rotating to reveal continents and vast oceans. Many council members leaned forward, their curiosity piqued. This planet, designated Sol 3 by our astronomers, exists in what we have long considered to be the death zone of its star system. Zixnera continued. Its gravity is crushing, its atmosphere corrosive, and its surface is constantly bombarded by intense radiation. By all accounts, it should be a barren rock. And yet, the hologram zoomed in, revealing sprawling cities, vast networks of transportation, and clear signs of an advanced civilization. Life not only exists on this world, but it thrives, Zixnera said, their voice tinged with awe. More than that, an intelligent species has evolved and built a global civilization under these extreme conditions. Murmurs of disbelief rippled through the chamber. Counselor Krell, a massive arachnid-like being from a low-gravity world, clicked his mandibles in agitation. Impossible. No species could evolve sentience in such an environment. The constant struggle for survival would preclude the development of higher thinking. And yet, the evidence is before us, countered Counselor Elia, an ethereal being composed of intertwining light strands. We must consider the implications. If life can flourish in such extreme conditions, perhaps our understanding of habitability is fundamentally flawed. The debate raged on, with council members arguing passionately about the nature of this newfound species and the potential threat they might pose to the galactic order. Some advocated for immediate containment, fearing that any species evolving in such harsh conditions would inevitably be aggressive and dangerous. Others argued for caution and further observation. As the arguments grew heated, Zixnera raised a glowing appendage for silence. We must not act hastily. Our long-standing policy of non-interference with pre-FTL civilizations still stands. However, given the unique nature of this discovery, I propose we establish a dedicated observation post to monitor this world closely. The motion was put to a vote, and with a majority in favor, the council agreed to watch and wait. Little did they know that their decision would set in motion a chain of events that would shake the very foundations of their galactic civilization. Over the next several cycles, the council's observers watched in fascination as the inhabitants of Sol 3, who called themselves humans, displayed an uncanny ability to adapt and overcome the challenges of their harsh world. They witnessed the humans' rapid technological advancement, their insatiable curiosity, and their relentless drive to explore and understand their surroundings. But as they watched, they also saw the toll that the planet was taking on its inhabitants. Extreme weather events, shifting tectonic plates, and the constant battering of cosmic radiation pushed the humans to their limits. Yet, instead of succumbing, the humans seemed to grow stronger, more resilient, and more determined with each challenge. Counselor Elia, who had taken a particular interest in the humans, addressed the council in a subsequent session. Colleagues, I believe we are witnessing something truly remarkable. These humans have not just survived on their Deathworld. They have thrived. They've developed technologies at a pace that rivals some of our own advancements, all while battling conditions that would annihilate most species we know. The holographic display now showed humans venturing into their planet's orbit, establishing rudimentary space stations, and even setting foot on their barren moon. The Council watched in stunned silence as a species, by all rights, should never have evolved past simple organisms, reached for the stars. But there's more, Elia continued, her light pulsing with excitement. Our latest observations indicate that the humans are on the verge of a breakthrough in propulsion technology. If our analysis is correct, they may achieve faster-than-light travel within a single generation. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices. The implications were staggering. Never in the history of the Galactic Council had a species developed FTL capabilities while still confined to their homeworld. The potential for disaster, or for unprecedented growth, was enormous. High Counselor Zixnera's crystalline form pulsed with deep hues of concern. This changes everything. We must prepare for the possibility of contact far sooner than we anticipated. And we must consider what it means for our galaxy to have a species forged in the crucible of a Deathworld joining the interstellar community. As the Council debated their next steps, a junior observer rushed into the chamber, their bioluminescent skin flashing urgent patterns. High Counselor, esteemed members of the Council, forgive the interruption, but we've detected a massive energy spike on Sol 3. It appears the humans are preparing for some kind of large-scale operation. The holographic display shifted, showing a flurry of activity across the planet's surface. Massive ships, far larger than anything the humans had built before, were being assembled in orbit. The energy readings were off the charts, suggesting propulsion systems beyond anything the Council had believed the humans capable of. Zixnera's voice cut through the shocked silence. It seems, my fellow Council members, that our hand has been forced. The humans are not content to wait for the stars to welcome them. They are reaching out to grasp their destiny with their own hands. As the Council watched, the first of the massive ships broke free from Earth's orbit, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of an entire species. The Galactic Council, for the first time in eons, found itself scrambling to react to a force they had gravely underestimated. The age of humanity had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Humanity's great leap, as the Galactic Council grappled with the implications of humanity's imminent departure from their homeworld, the situation on Earth reached a critical tipping point. The planet, long pushed to its limits by human activity and natural upheavals, began to show signs of irrevocable change. Dr. Samantha Chen, lead scientist of the Global Climate Restoration Project, stood before a panel of world leaders, her face grim as she delivered her report. Distinguished colleagues, I wish I had better news. Despite our best efforts, the cascading effects of climate change have accelerated beyond our most pessimistic models. We're looking at widespread ecosystem collapse within the next 2 decades. The room fell silent as the weight of her words sank in. For years, humanity had battled against the increasingly hostile conditions of their world. They had developed incredible technologies to combat rising sea levels, to purify toxic air, and to cultivate food in ever-shrinking arable lands. But it was becoming clear that they were fighting a losing battle. General Marcus Adebayo, commander of the United Earth Defense Force, spoke up. Then we have no choice. Project Exodus must be accelerated. We cannot afford to wait any longer. Project Exodus had been humanity's ace in the hole, a daring plan born of desperation and hope. For the past decade, the brightest minds on Earth had been working in secret to develop technology that would allow humanity to leave their dying world and seek new homes among the stars. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the project's lead engineer, stood up, her holographic avatar flickering slightly. We've made significant breakthroughs in FTL propulsion, but we're still years away from being able to move our entire population. The energy requirements alone are staggering. What if we don't move everyone at once? The question came from Dr. Zoran Kosi, a brilliant theoretical physicist. All eyes turned to her as she continued. We've been approaching this as an all-or-nothing endeavor. But what if we send out waves of colony ships? Each wave can establish footholds on new worlds, building the infrastructure we'll need for larger-scale migration. The idea took hold quickly. Within months, the entire focus of human civilization shifted. Resources once dedicated to holding back the tide of environmental decay were redirected towards the construction of massive colony ships. Space elevators rose from strategic points around the globe, ferrying materials and personnel to the orbital shipyards where humanity's arcs took shape. Unbeknownst to the humans, their feverish activity was causing great consternation among the watching members of the Galactic Council. Councillor Krell paced back and forth in the council chamber, his many legs clicking against the polished floor. We cannot allow this to continue. These humans are about to spill out into the galaxy, unprepared and unaware of the greater community they're about to enter. They're a danger to themselves and to us. High Counselor Zixnera's crystalline form pulsed with calming blues. I understand your concerns, Counselor Krell, but we must adhere to our principles. We have never interfered with the species at this stage of development, no matter the circumstances. But surely this situation is unprecedented, argued Counselor Elia, her light strands twisting in agitation. The humans are not merely achieving spaceflight. They're embarking on a mass exodus from their homeworld. The potential for conflict, for misunderstanding, for accidental first contact with other races, it's too great to ignore. As the council debated, humanity raced against time. The first wave of colony ships neared completion, each one a marvel of engineering that pushed the boundaries of human knowledge and capability. Aboard the flagship of the Exodus fleet, the UES Hope, Captain Aria Rodriguez surveyed the bustle of final preparations. She had been chosen to lead the first wave of colonists, a responsibility that weighed heavily on her shoulders. Status report, she called out to her crew. Her XO, Commander Chen Wei, responded promptly. All systems are green, Captain. Life support is stable. FTL drive is primed and ready. We're just waiting on the last of the colonists to board. Aria nodded, her gaze drifting to the view screen that showed the blue marble of Earth below. It was still beautiful from up here, she thought. You'd never know by looking at it just how close to the brink it truly was. Captain, Chen's voice broke through her reverie. We're receiving a transmission from Earth Command. It's the President. The view screen flickered, and the face of President Adora Okafor appeared. Her expression was solemn, but her eyes burned with determination. Captain Rodriguez, brave colonists of the Exodus fleet, you stand at the threshold of the greatest journey our species has ever undertaken. The fate of humanity rests on your shoulders. She paused, allowing her words to sink in. We do not know what awaits you out there among the stars. You may find new homes, new allies, or new challenges beyond our imagination. But whatever you encounter, remember this: you carry with you the indomitable spirit of humanity. The same spirit that allowed us to thrive on a world that should have defeated us long ago. Aria felt a lump form in her throat as the President continued. Go forth with our hopes, our dreams, and our unwavering support. Find us new homes among the stars, and pave the way for the rest of humanity to follow. The light of Earth may be fading, but through you, the flame of our species will burn brighter than ever before. As the transmission ended, a profound silence fell over the bridge of the UES Hope. Aria took a deep breath, steeling herself for the monumental task ahead. All right, people, you heard the President. Let's make history. Commander Chen, signal the fleet. It's time to go. On the command, the engines of a dozen massive ships flared to life. Slowly at first, then with gathering speed, they broke free from Earth's orbit. As they reached the edge of the solar system, there was a moment of breathless anticipation. Then, in a flash of light that outshone the stars themselves, the ships engaged their FTL drives and vanished into the depths of space. Back on Earth, billions watched the departure with a mixture of hope and trepidation. For better or worse, humanity had taken its first real step into the cosmic ocean. And in the hidden observation posts scattered throughout the solar system, the agents of the Galactic Council watched in stunned silence. The humans had done it. Against all odds, born on a world that should have killed them, they had achieved the impossible. As reports flooded in from the observation posts, High Counselor Sixnera's voice rang out in the council chamber. "It seems, my friends, that we have grossly underestimated these humans. May the cosmos help us all if we continue to do so." The first wave of humanity's great exodus had begun. The galaxy, whether ready or not, was about to meet its newest wanderers, and nothing would ever be the same again. The exodus begins. The vast emptiness of space was shattered by the arrival of the UES Hope and its sister ships. Bursting into real space in a dazzling display of light and energy, the first wave of Earth's Exodus fleet had successfully traversed the gulf between stars. Captain Aria Rodriguez's voice was steady as she addressed her crew, but those who knew her well could detect the slight tremor of awe in her words. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We are the first humans to travel beyond our solar system. Let's make our ancestors proud." As the fleet regrouped and began scanning their surroundings, the reality of their situation began to sink in. They were truly alone, farther from home than any human had ever been, with the weight of their species' future resting squarely on their shoulders. Back on Earth, the successful jump of the first wave was met with jubilant celebration. Humanity had proven that their audacious plan was more than just a desperate dream. It was a viable path forward, a lifeline for a species on the brink. President Okafor addressed the world, her face broadcasted on screens in every city, village, and refugee camp across the globe. Today marks the dawn of a new era for humankind. Our brave pioneers have successfully made the leap to the stars. Hope is no longer a distant dream, but a tangible reality. As she spoke, teams of scientists and engineers were already hard at work, analyzing the data sent back by the Exodus fleet and preparing for the launch of subsequent waves. The race against Earth's deteriorating conditions had entered its final, most critical phase. However, unbeknownst to humanity, their great leap had set off a firestorm of debate and panic within the Galactic Council. In the Grand Council chamber, the holographic displays showed the humans' FTL jump in real time, replaying the moment over and over as the assembled representatives struggled to comprehend what they had just witnessed. Councillor Krell's agitation had reached a fever pitch. "This is unprecedented. Not only have they achieved faster-than-light travel, but they've done so with technology completely unlike our own. Who knows what other surprises these humans might have in store?" Councillor Elia, whose fascination with humanity had only grown, interjected. "But don't you see? This is exactly why we should be reaching out to them. Their unique perspective, their drive to overcome impossible odds, these could be invaluable assets to our galactic community." The debate raged on, with factions forming among the council members. Some advocated for immediate first contact, arguing that guiding the humans into the galactic fold was the safest course of action. Others pushed for containment, fearing the unpredictable nature of a species forged in such harsh conditions. High Counselor Sixnera listened to all sides, their crystalline form shifting through a spectrum of colors as they processed the various arguments. Finally, they raised a glowing appendage for silence. "We stand at a crossroads," Sixnera began, their voice resonating through the chamber. "For eons, we have watched over the galaxy, guiding species into the interstellar community when they were ready. But these humans, they have bypassed our established order. They are out among the stars now, whether we will it or not." The council chamber was silent, all eyes fixed on the High Counselor. "I propose a compromise," Sixnera continued. "We will not directly intervene, but neither will we stand idly by. Let us dispatch observers, disguised to avoid detection. They will monitor the humans closely as they establish their first colonies. This will give us the information we need to make an informed decision about how to proceed." The motion was put to a vote, and after heated debate, it passed by a narrow margin. Specialized teams were quickly assembled and dispatched to shadow the human Exodus fleet. Meanwhile, oblivious to the cosmic drama unfolding around them, The humans of the Exodus fleet pressed on with their mission. The UES Hope and its companions had entered a promising star system, one with several potentially habitable worlds. Captain Rodriguez stood on the bridge, watching as probes were launched towards a particularly promising planet. "What do we have, Dr. Tanaka?" Dr. Yuki Tanaka, hunched over her console, looked up with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "It's remarkable, Captain. The planet is eerily Earth-like. Gravity is slightly lower, the atmosphere is breathable with minor filtration, and there's liquid water on the surface. But what, Doctor?" Arya pressed, sensing the scientist's hesitation. "There are anomalies in the sensor readings, structures that don't appear natural. Captain, I think this planet might be inhabited." A hush fell over the bridge as the implications of Dr. Tanaka's words sank in. They had prepared for many contingencies, but first contact with an alien civilization. That was beyond anything they had anticipated. Arya's mind raced. Their mission was clear: find new homes for humanity. But what if those homes were already taken? The fate of their species hung in the balance, and the weight of the decision pressed down on her. "Maintain orbit," she ordered, her voice firm despite her inner turmoil. "Launch no further probes. We need to approach this carefully. Convene the ship's council immediately, and get me a secure line to Earth. They need to know what we found." As the Exodus fleet hung in orbit around the mysterious world, tension built on every ship. They had journeyed across the stars in search of a new beginning, only to find that the galaxy was far more complex and far less empty than they had ever imagined. On the planet's surface, hidden from the human sensors, one of the Galactic Council's observer teams watched the orbiting ships with growing alarm. First Officer Zik, a chameleonic being capable of blending seamlessly with any environment, turned to his superior. "Commander, the humans have detected signs of civilization. It's only a matter of time before they attempt to land. What are our orders?" Commander Lurix, a towering insectoid with compound eyes that reflected the light of the alien ships above, chittered thoughtfully. "We maintain our cover for now, but alert the Council immediately. The humans have not only escaped their Deathworld, they've stumbled upon one of our monitoring outposts. This changes everything." As the human Exodus fleet and the hidden Council observers watched each other warily, the stage was set for a confrontation that would shape the future of galactic civilization. Humanity's great leap into the cosmos had only been the beginning. The true test of their resilience, ingenuity, and determination was about to begin. Flash of ideologies. The tension aboard the UES Hope was palpable as Captain Arya Rodriguez addressed the assembled ship's council. The holographic display in the center of the room showed detailed scans of the planet below, with areas of interest highlighted in pulsing red. "Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in an unprecedented situation," Arya began, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "The world before us offers everything we need for colonization, but it appears we're not the first to discover it. Dr. Tanaka, please brief the Council on your findings." Dr. Yuki Tanaka stepped forward, her usual excitement tempered by nervous energy. "Our scans have revealed structures of clearly artificial origin scattered across the planet's surface. Most are concentrated in a region we've designated as Alpha Site. These structures don't match any known human designs, and their energy signatures are, well, alien." A murmur ran through the assembled leaders. Commander Chenwei, Arya's XO, was the first to speak up. "Have we detected any signs of active civilization? Communications, transportation, anything?" Dr. Tanaka shook her head. "That's the puzzling part. The structures are there, but we're not picking up any signs of current activity. It's as if whoever built them just left." The implications hung heavy in the air. After a moment of tense silence, Dr. Zoran Kosi, the fleet's lead physicist, spoke up. "Captain, with all due respect, we can't afford to turn back. Earth is dying. Millions are counting on us to secure a new home. If this world is abandoned, then perhaps it's meant to be ours. Arya felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. The fate of humanity could hinge on her next decision. After a moment of contemplation, she straightened her back and addressed the council. We didn't come this far to turn back at the first sign of the unknown. Prepare a landing party. We're going down there. As the UES Hope prepared for its historic landing, the hidden Galactic Council observation post was a flurry of activity. Commander Lyrix paced back and forth, his insectoid legs clicking against the metallic floor. Have you established contact with the Council? He chittered at his communications officer. The officer, a beam of pure energy contained within a translucent suit, pulsed with frustration. Negative. Commander, something about the humans' propulsion technology is interfering with our long-range communications. We're on our own. Lyrix's mandibles clacked in agitation. We cannot allow them to discover this outpost. The treaties are clear. This sector is off-limits to emerging species. If they land here, it could spark an interstellar incident. First Officer Zik, his chameleonic skin rippling with unease, interjected. But sir, our standing orders are to remain hidden and observe. Direct intervention could be seen as a violation of Council law. Commander Lyrix's compound eyes fixed on Zik. And if we do nothing, we risk exposing the entire Galactic Council to an unpredictable species from a Deathworld. No, we must act. Prepare the defense systems. We'll drive them away if we have to. As the Council observers prepared for a potential confrontation, the first human landers descended through the alien world's atmosphere. Captain Rodriguez led the expedition herself, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and apprehension as their craft touched down near the largest cluster of alien structures. The landing party emerged cautiously, their environmental suits gleaming in the light of the alien sun. The structures before them were unlike anything they had ever seen. Twisting spires of an iridescent material that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. My God, breathed Dr. Tanaka, her voice filled with awe. It's beautiful. Arya nodded in agreement, but kept her focus on the mission at hand. Fan out, but stay alert. We don't know what. Her words were cut short by a blinding flash of light. A beam of energy lanced out from one of the structures, striking the ground mere meters from the landing party. The earth where it hit was instantly vitrified, turned to gleaming glass. Take cover, Arya shouted, diving behind a nearby rock formation. The rest of the landing party scattered, seeking shelter as more energy beams lanced out around them. In the Council observation post, Commander Lyrix watched the scene unfold with growing horror. Cease fire, he screamed into the comm. Those are warning shots only. We're not trying to kill them. But the damage was done. The humans, acting on instincts honed by millennia of survival on their harsh homeworld, had already sprung into action. Arya's voice crackled over the comm, calm despite the chaos. This is Captain Rodriguez to all ships. We are under attack by unknown forces. Initiate Defense Protocol Alpha. I repeat, initiate Defense Protocol Alpha. In orbit, the rest of the Exodus fleet burst into action. Ships that had been designed for colonization rapidly reconfigured, revealing hidden weapon systems that the Council observers had never detected. Within minutes, the sky was filled with human fighters and dropships, all converging on the location of the landing party. Commander Lyrix watched in disbelief as his simple plan to scare off the humans spiraled into a full-scale battle. By the cosmic core, he muttered, "What have we done?" On the ground, Arya rallied her team. Years of training in Earth's most extreme environments had prepared them for this moment. They moved with precision, using the alien terrain to their advantage as they pushed back against the unseen enemy. As the battle raged, Dr. Tanaka made a startling discovery. "Captain," she called out over the din of energy weapons. "These structures, they're not just buildings. They're some kind of automated defense system. I don't think there's anyone actually controlling them." Arya's mind raced, processing this new information. "Can you shut them down?" Dr. Tanaka's fingers flew over her portable console. I'm trying to interface with their systems now. It's like nothing I've ever seen. But, wait. Yes, I think I can. Suddenly, the barrage of energy beams ceased. The alien structures, which had seemed so threatening moments before, stood silent and inert. In the observation post, alarms blared as system after system went offline. Commander Lurix stared at the monitors in disbelief. "Impossible," he whispered. "They've bypassed our security in minutes." How could they? Back on the surface, Area cautiously emerged from cover. The battlefield was scared and smoking, but eerily quiet. "Dr. Tanaka," she called out. "What did you do?" The scientist looked up from her console, her eyes wide with excitement and disbelief. I think I just hacked an alien computer system, Captain. And there's more. I'm detecting life signs inside that central structure. Non-human life signs." Area steeled herself, knowing that the next few moments could determine the fate of not just this mission, but of human history. "All units, hold position," she ordered. Then, squaring her shoulders, she began to walk towards the alien structure. "Let's go say hello to our new neighbors." As Area approached the entrance to the alien facility, the door slid open with a soft hiss. Standing there, looking equally shocked and impressed, were Commander Lurix and his team. For a moment, human and alien stared at each other in stunned silence. Then, drawing on reserves of courage and diplomacy she didn't know she possessed, Area spoke. "I'm Captain Area Rodriguez of Earth. We come seeking a new home. We did not mean to trespass, but we will defend ourselves if threatened." She paused, then extended her hand in a universal gesture of peace. "Perhaps we can start over." Commander Lurix, realizing the momentous nature of this encounter, slowly extended his own appendage. As human and alien made first contact, both realized that the galaxy would never be the same. In that moment, humanity had not only survived its first extraterrestrial challenge, it had thrived, showcasing the ingenuity, adaptability, and determination that had allowed them to conquer their Deathworld. The Galactic Council, watching through the eyes of its observers, began to realize that these humans were not just refugees or potential threats. They were a force that could reshape the very fabric of galactic civilization. A new era dawns. The news of first contact spread through the human Exodus fleet like wildfire. Within hours, the UES Hope's communication systems were overwhelmed with transmissions from Earth, the other colony ships, and the various outposts humanity had established in their solar system. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. What would this mean for the future of humanity? Captain Area Rodriguez stood before a panel of holographic projections, facing not only her superiors back on Earth, but also representatives from the Galactic Council. The irony wasn't lost on her. Humanity had fled a dying world only to stumble into an intergalactic political storm. "Ladies, gentlemen, and honored representatives of the Galactic Council," Area began, her voice steady despite the weight of the moment. "The situation we find ourselves in is unprecedented. We came seeking a new home, unaware that we were entering territory already claimed by a vast interstellar community." Commander Lurix, the insectoid alien who had been Area's adversary and then reluctant host over the past few days, chittered softly before speaking. "The fault is partly ours, Captain Rodriguez. Our policy of non-interference with developing species led to this confrontation. We underestimated your kind's resilience and ingenuity." President Okafer's holographic form nodded solemnly. "Be that as it may, the question remains, where do we go from here? Earth cannot sustain our population for much longer. We need a new home." High Counselor Zixnera's crystalline form pulsed with thoughtful colors. "This incident has forced us to reconsider many of our long-standing policies. The human ability to adapt and overcome challenges is remarkable. Perhaps it is time for the Galactic Council to adapt as well." What followed was a series of intense negotiations that would reshape the political landscape of the galaxy. The humans, despite their desperate need for a new homeworld, negotiated from a position of unexpected strength. Their ability to bypass advanced alien defenses and their sheer determination to survive had made an impression on the Council. In the end, a historic agreement was reached. The Galactic Council would assist humanity in finding and terraforming suitable worlds for colonization. In exchange, humans would share their unique technologies and join the Council as a probationary member. As the years passed, humanity's influence spread across the stars. Their colonies flourished, each one a testament to human resilience and adaptability. Earth, though no longer humanity's sole home, became a sacred site, a living museum of the species' origins and a reminder of the challenges they had overcome. The integration of humans into the galactic community was not without its challenges. Many species viewed these newcomers from a Deathworld with a mixture of fear and fascination. Human physiology, evolved to survive in Earth's harsh conditions, made them naturally suited to explore and colonize worlds that other species found uninhabitable. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, whose first encounter with alien technology had sparked humanity's entry into galactic politics, now led a joint human-alien research team. Their mission: to unravel the mysteries of the universe by combining the unique perspectives of multiple species. The human drive to explore and understand is unlike anything we've encountered, remarked Zik, the former council observer now working alongside Dr. Tanaka. You ask questions we've never thought to ask. See patterns we've overlooked for millennia. Dr. Tanaka smiled, her eyes gleaming with the excitement of discovery. That's the gift our harsh world gave us, Zik. On Earth, complacency meant death. We had to constantly adapt, to push boundaries just to survive. Now we get to apply that same drive to unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos. Their collaboration led to breakthroughs in faster-than-light travel, unlocking new regions of the galaxy for exploration. Human colonies began to dot the cosmic landscape, each one a bubbling crucible of innovation and cultural exchange. On a diplomatic front, Captain, now Ambassador, Aria Rodriguez worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between human and alien cultures. Her experiences during first contact had given her a unique perspective on interspecies relations. We may look different, think differently, have wildly different biologies, Aria often said in her speeches to both human and alien audiences. But at our core, we all share the same fundamental desires: to explore, to understand, to grow, and to secure a future for our children. It is these common threads that bind us together as a galactic community. Her words resonated across species boundaries, helping to ease tensions and foster cooperation. Slowly but surely, the initial fear and mistrust gave way to mutual respect and collaboration. Back on Earth, the planet was undergoing a transformation of its own. With the pressure of overpopulation relieved by off-world colonies, and with advanced alien technologies at their disposal, humanity began the monumental task of healing their homeworld. Vast swathes of desert bloomed into lush forests. Polluted seas ran clear once more. The scars left by centuries of exploitation began to fade, revealing the beauty that had inspired humanity to reach for the stars in the first place. President Okafor, nearing the end of her final term, stood at the podium for one last address to a global, and now interstellar, audience. Behind her, the new headquarters of the Human Galactic Cooperation Initiative gleamed in the sunlight, its architecture a blend of human and alien design. My fellow humans, honored guests from across the galaxy, she began, her voice carrying the weight of history. A century ago, we stood on the brink of extinction. Our world was dying, and we faced a choice: adapt or perish. We chose to adapt. We chose to reach for the stars. And in doing so, we not only saved ourselves but discovered a universe far grander and more diverse than we had ever imagined. She paused, her gaze sweeping across the assembled crowd, and the camera drones broadcasting her words to every human settlement across the stars. Today, we stand as proud members of a galactic community. Our colonies thrive on worlds we once thought uninhabitable. Our scientists work alongside beings from across the cosmos, pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Our diplomats forge bonds of friendship with species whose existence we couldn't have fathomed a century ago. President Okafor's voice swelled with pride. But perhaps our greatest achievement is this: we have taken the lessons learned from our harsh history and used them not to conquer, but to cooperate, not to destroy, but to create. We have shown the galaxy that even a species born on a Deathworld can choose life, can choose progress, can choose unity. As her words echoed across Earth and beyond, humans and aliens alike felt a sense of hope and possibility. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders and humanity. The upstart species from a harsh little world had proven themselves worthy inheritors of its legacy. In the chambers of the Galactic Council, High Counselor Sixnera watched the broadcast, their crystalline form shimmering with a spectrum of impressed colors. Who would have thought, they mused to nobody in particular, that the most inhospitable world we'd ever encountered would produce a species that would teach us all how to truly live. And so, a new era dawned. Humanity, born in the crucible of Earth, tempered by adversity, and driven by an unquenchable spirit of exploration, had found its place among the stars. They had not only survived, they had thrived, bringing with them a resilience and adaptability that would forever change the face of galactic civilization. The story of humanity's great leap was far from over. Indeed, it had only just begun. But one thing was certain: the cosmos would never be the same again.